I can go like that.
Okay. If you clicked on this video, you're probably living in a life of fear. And why is that? What are you focused on right now? Where's the concern? Where's the anxiety? Where's it all coming from? Today we're going to talk about the three biggest fears as laid out by Neville Goddard. Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta do it again.
Who?
I'll
At you? Kazoon
I'll tell
type?
you what. I'll tell you
Kazoon
what.
type.
I'm just gonna let you open up on this one.
No, Kazoon type? Who? Who are we talking about?
Neville Goddard.
Neville Goddard. Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
Should have just kept going with that because that was kind of funny.
I know. But we gotta start over.
No, I don't want to. Can't we just keep going with this? I don't know who this guy is. I'd talk about him to fill in for him.
So Neville Goddard wrote the book Think and Grow Rich back in 1937. It's not a book just about how to grow financially rich. It's really how to grow rich in your life. It's really kind of all starts with mindset. And he lists 6 different fears in life that typically are tops. We're going to talk about 3. Number 1, fear of poverty. Number 2, fear of criticism. And number 3, the fear of death. Those 3, right? So the first one we can talk about is fear of poverty. So I think a lot of people think that right now they're in a very impoverished state, when they're probably not, right? So why is fear of poverty at the top of the list?
I feel it's top of the list for me. I don't live in poverty, but the last thing I want to do is live in poverty. That's why I go to work every day and bust my butt and do what I got to do to make money to provide for my family.
A lot of people think that if they get to the point of thinking about being impoverished, they think the next step is death. They think they're going to die.
I mean, that's not a wrong, I guess, way to think about it, because if some people have it, some people don't.
So how bad do you really have it out there, right? So, I mean, compare yourself to maybe people who are in Africa who are living in these, mud huts, or not even any huts at all. Maybe they're just sleeping on the ground. And what about you? Do you have a roof over your head, right? Do you have electricity in your house?
You have water, plumbing, simple things that are basic to us, but are things that people don't even know about in third world countries.
And one of the mantras you might want to repeat to yourself if you feel like you are impoverished or you're deserving of more is, you've had enough, you have enough, and you always will have enough. I mean, really speak those words to yourself often and kind of recognize where you do have enough, where you've always had enough, and why you always are going to have enough, right? I mean, do you feel that way? That you've had enough, you have enough, and you always will have enough?
Yeah, but there's a side of me that wants more.
Well,
And that's the other problem.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Why is that a problem?
I think it can be because we lose gratitude for what we have. If we allow wanting more to outweigh stepping back and looking at what we actually have in front of us, I think that's where we go wrong.
If you feel impoverished right now, maybe you are not looking at the things that you currently have.
And that's what I'm saying.
I mean, go count the cups in your house. Go count the dishes. Go count the articles of clothing that you currently have. Go focus on the fact that, again, you have a roof over your head. Focus on the fact that you have a job right now.
Right.
Right. Focus on the fact that you have the opportunity to help your kids through their problems, even though they're problems. Right. It's an opportunity.
And that's what I mean. Like, I think we can allow our wants and our greed to make us feel like we're not enough, to make us feel like we're not enough or we're impoverished. And it can be an impoverished form. It doesn't have to just be about money, my friend.
I was going to say, doesn't feeling impoverished start with kind of what you're feeling in your heart about yourself?
Agreed. Wholeheartedly.
Right. So how are you feeling about yourself right now? What are you saying to yourself? How's the self-talk right now, right? We talked about this in the past, a couple videos ago.
We talk about this a lot because it's that's a big one for us. The self-talk is everything. How you portray yourself to yourself is how you're going to portray yourself to the world.
That's so true. That's so true. So maybe you're really not as impoverished. Maybe you're not in a state of poverty. Maybe you're talking yourself into thinking that you are, right? I mean, you can be pretty convincing, period, right? You can be pretty convincing to yourself. Don't you think you can be the most convincing to yourself?
I can talk myself into anything.
That's what I'm talking about, right?
I've talked myself into a lot of poor choices too.
Yeah, well, I think we all have, for sure.
Those
right?
are usually the fun ones, though.
Well, and you know, and look, every day we wake up, first thing we do is look in the mirror and we're like, hey, there I am, right?
Yep.
Next thing you know, you start talking to yourself. You got these thoughts in your head, right? They're going, they're going, they're going. But you can change them to change yourself, right? Again, we talked about this before. Change your thoughts to change your outcomes.
You know, you don't have to change anything. You just have to change everything.
Yeah, you said that before here a few months ago. Want to expand on that a little bit more?
Well, if we want to keep living in darkness, we can continue to do the same things and continue to live the same way. But if we aren't doing anything to change how we're living, our situations are never going to change either.
Mm-hmm.
If we continue, it's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. Mm-hmm. If you're not changing the way you're thinking, if you're not changing the things you're doing, you're never going to change the way you're feeling, which means you're never going to progress. You're going to stay feeling impoverished. Mm-hmm. I know some very wealthy people that have felt impoverished for those exact reasons. Happens.
Yeah.
Looking at things as from the wrong side of the coin.
Yep. Exactly. So, what about the second one? Fear of criticism.
I love that one.
Why is that?
Because I really don't care what people think.
Is that really true, though?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It makes me laugh that people are willing to do and say whatever they have to appease others. There's so many people out there like that, and that's not me. Mm-hmm. I don't understand that.
All right, so let me talk about that a little bit more then. I mean, so if you're criticized by somebody, I mean, some people really feel that. Mm-hmm. So, let's be kind when we kind of respond to this. So why do people get so downtrodden when somebody makes a comment about them that may not be very nice when they're criticized?
Because they allow people's perception of them to outweigh their perception of themselves.
Oh, that's really good. Say it again.
The reason it happens is they allow people's perception of them outweigh their perception of themselves.
Man, that's really, really good. That is truth.
It is.
Because you really can't, nobody can make you feel a certain way.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why that one I laugh at. Because I'm never going to allow someone else to make me feel a certain way. Other than love, you're going to have that, things like that. I just mean I'm not going to allow people's opinion of me to take me down a dark path.
All right, so I got to ask you this then. So if that's your way, if you do have that mantra and a method, what is your method? Like, you got to help them out here.
Let it go. Let it go. I can't control what you think about me. I don't care what you think about me because you have no bearing in my life. If all you have are horrible things to say about me, then why are you in my life?
But letting go is not easy to do when you don't have a good perception of yourself. So people need to work on their perception. So answer the question, what can they do to help themselves have a better perception of themselves? Letting go, they can't let it go because they don't have a good perception of themselves. So what do they need to do? Like, what did you do? Like, how did you get to the point where you're saying, like,
and that's what I'm trying to and that's what I'm trying to think about is I've kind of always lived like that, though. I didn't allow other people's opinion of me dictate my life.
Okay.
That's probably why I did so many wrong things and didn't do the right things, because that's I did things the hard way instead of the easy way. I had to learn, hey, don't touch the stove, it's hot. Wow, that burns. Okay, that sucked. Yeah. Well, why don't I try it one more time and see what happens, you know? That was me.
Yeah.
And I guess when you live like that, you tend to not care what people think about you.
I think you need to do a deep dive on what you believe about yourself, too. Like, list out what the blessings are and list out kind of the things that you want to release and let go. Like, really think about yourself and really be self-aware of
honest
of what you really feel about yourself. It might be, I'm not organized, or I don't pick up on things very quickly, or when I start something, I never finish it. And you start adding these things up, and people actually make a comment about you. You're focused on all these things that you believe about yourself. You go right to the list. There might be 30 things on that list. I'm not a caring person. I'm not very kind. I'm not very smart. I'm not pretty, right? I mean,
there's a laundry list of things that you can look at as negatives in your life, but maybe only you're the one who views them as a negative.
That's exactly typically, and you know what? That's the only thing that should matter, to your point. The positives should only be the only things that matter. The negatives, again, you need to do some kind of self-work to kind of get those out of your life and release those and let those go. But first, you need to be self-aware as to what those are. There might be 50 things that you need to let go. That's okay. Write them out. Figure it out. I mean, I think your response was dead nuts on, Josh. I mean, again, their comments are basically here, and what you think about yourself is here, and that's why you're taking it, right? So, but there is some work to do on your end, so you're not feeling that way when people do make those comments to you. It's about being self-confident.
Well, and sometimes some of those comments do dig so deep because the truth can hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you're being lazy at work and they call you out for that, that sometimes can hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you change that?
Right.
Well, step it up.
Yeah.
Do your part. Do what you're supposed to do. Sometimes it's warranted because we're not willing to look at ourselves in the right light. We're not willing to break down our weaknesses and be real about them and understand them and start working towards something better.
That's right.
Because if we don't recognize what our weaknesses are, how are we supposed to become better? We're going to stay stagnant and stay right where we are because we're not doing anything different. We're living the definition of insanity.
And you're talking about constructive criticism, which
Yes.
can help you become a better person.
Yes.
But there is criticism that's really tied to just simply being just
Some
rude.
people are just an asshole.
Yeah.
But just be real. Some people they just are, and it is what it is. And honestly, this goes back to another video too. Maybe they're just having an off day. We're all entitled to them. We all have them. Maybe you're just the dog to kick today.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that can happen.
Yeah. So what about the third one, fear of death? And I think, let me just start out with this one. I mean, we're both not afraid to die. We kind of talked about that before. I'm not, because I know where I'm going. There was a time when I was, but I'm not anymore. I don't want to die, but I'm not afraid to die. Just clarification. But a lot of people, less candidly, they just don't know where they're going, right? They don't know what's on the other side or believe in a higher power. That could be one reason why. I mean, I know people who are Christians who are just literally petrified to die, which I can't really figure that one out, because the pinnacle, if you're a Christian, is to be with Christ. But when we die. But what about you? What are your thoughts around death, like fear of death? Being one of the top three things people fear.
That's one I have a hard time even talking about because I've never feared it. Growing up as someone who wanted it, why would I fear it? As I've gotten older in life, that was stupid to be where I was at, but it doesn't change the fact that I did.
Right.
So for me, it's like, whatever, I wanted it at one point in my life. Why would I fear it now? I have nothing to fear.
Right.
We're all going to die.
Fear
We're all dying every day. That's what aging is. Accept it. Again, it's part of acceptance. I accept the things I can't control. I can't make myself immortal. Right. Accept the fact that I'm dying, let it go, and move on.
Yeah.
Why am I going to put time and effort and energy into something that I can't control?
Yeah, it's okay to fight too. It's okay to fight aging and to be youthful and trying to be youthful.
Oh, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I have a
grow old gracefully.
I have a very physical job. I work out basically every day, and if I didn't have my job, that's exactly what I would do, is work out every day. There's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. There's a difference between taking care of yourself and going overboard.
Yeah.
You got to do what's right for you, but. We're all dying. I'm not going to fear death.
You know what I find interesting? The Bible verse that really fights fear, the one that really kind of sticks out to me, is perfect love drives out fear, which you wouldn't think that love would be the opposite of fear, but in the Bible it is. And the more and more we talk about this, it makes sense, right? I mean, and to your point earlier about what you said about loving yourself more than the comments coming at you. You're loving the comments that are coming at you from the other person that are being critical than you do yourself. If you realize how much God loves you, that's going to create more self-love that you have for yourself. Start there, I'd say, right? Again, perfect love drives out fear. It's God's love for you and also love for yourself. And again, that's not a narcissistic comment, because people who are narcissistic, again, they don't love themselves, right? But the more you love yourself, the more you can handle the comments.
The more you can fight the fear.
The more you can fight the fear. Right. So, and I would tell you that when we were kind of in our, struggles and our battles, we weren't loving ourselves very much in those moments, right? So,
and anytime we talk about the word fear, I always think of the song by The Score.
Fight the fear.
Every time. And if you haven't heard it, I highly recommend it. It's a good one.
We put it on here if we were copyrighted, but we're not. So,
not
yet, anyways. Talk to us in like 3 months. We will be.
he's dreaming. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fantasyland. We
You
all
know
hopes
what? And
dreams.
just remember, the dreamers change the world, right? So keep dreaming out there too.
Agreed, 100%. I mean, it's factual.
And again, how can you dream? How can you create the dreams that you want in your life if you have fear?
You can't.
The more, right?
Fear paralyzes you.
It knocks out that intuition, right?
Yep.
It knocks out that intuition.
Fear paralyzes you to a point where it keeps you stagnant. If you were going to sit there and overthink fear till the end of time, you were never going to move forward.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. You're just going to sit down there, in the words of Josh Eisen. You're going to be down there. You're just going to sit down there. So
yeah, you're just going to hang out down there and do your thing, and it is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be, and you're just going to have to learn to accept it, unless you want to do something about it.
So maybe start with this: know that we love you, God loves you, right?
I mean, I think he does. If he didn't, I don't think I'd still be here.
I know he does.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
This has been Finding Hope in a Suffering Society. I'm Rob.
I'm Josh.
And we're here to help you find the beauty
In the darkness.
And if you found that light,
Please go show your glow to the rest of the world.
we'll see you in the next video.
See you guys around.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Bye-bye.